All right. So go to Lexington Senior High School. Go to our people. You can either go to staff and type in my name. I tell people it's easier to just go to the science webpage. And then we're all hyperlinked. And then you can go to the homework page. And I keep up with this every day. Okay? Right now, there's no homework. Fourth period, I will pull it up and I will link it. So if I go back to, let's just say I go back to, let's say, we'll go back to December. All right, not that we're going to watch December's class, but there it would be.
But we didn't pressure.
Don't want to hear me. All right. If there was a worksheet or something, it would have been attached so you could see it also. Okay. So that is always there for you when it's time to see that. All right. So how do you keep up? If you're absent, I expect you to keep up with those things. All right. Be prompt. Second period. You've had time to be late for first period, so we should be able to be on time. Be polite. Don't talk when others are. Bring your supplies to class. Whatever you want. Okay? I recommend a 3-ring binder. My first semester class told me to tell you do not buy an inch, buy an inch and a half or 2 inches because you will fill an inch and a half or an inch by about week 13 or 14. Okay? It's completely up to you. If you are not somebody who wants a 3-ring binder, don't buy a 3-ring binder. Okay? I give lots of handouts. We do not use a textbook. Everything I give you will be on paper, so you need a way to organize yourself. However you want to do that, it's completely and totally up to you. Okay? I am not Mr. Zellman. I will never check a notebook. All right? So you choose to organize yourself however you want to. But everything comes to you with holes punched in it, so it's an easy way to organize yourself. Pens and pencils of your choice. You do need a scientific calculator at home. I've got graphing calculators you may use here. If you already own a graphing calculator, it's the same thing at the house, but you do need one that you can calculate with at home. Okay? If you have a Droid phone, it works really well because their phones and their apps work beautifully and seamlessly. I don't find Apple to be as nice, but if you can make it work for you, great. All right? If you don't, come to class on time. Tardies, they're the same, and I'm going to show you in a second. Warning, parent contact, lunch detention, officer referral. Okay? I don't do after-school detention for any of this. All right? Don't worry about that third lunch bit. I don't have lunch duty this year or this semester. All right? Tardies, the exact same thing. If you have a doctor's note or something, take it to Mr. Kinzer. Pencil sharpener is behind, what's your name? Pon. Behind Pon. It's electric. Be kind to the pencil sharpener. Trash cans, there's one at the front, there's one at the back. Remember, trash is not recycling. All right? If you've got bags from Grab and Go, fine. Put the bag in there. Don't throw the trash that had crumbs and nasty food in recycling. That stuff's not recyclable. It's gross. If you bring in a wrapper from McDonald's that has cheese and grease all in it, put it in the trash can. Don't put that in recycling. Gum, don't stick it in anything. It's nasty. All right? Put it in the trash can. And water, as long as you don't abuse the privilege, you can go get water. All right? Don't irritate Miss Bowers in the hallway. And don't stick your head in Miss Wicker's door. You were just standing there.
Oh, thanks.
All right? Fire drill. We do this all the time, second period. Y'all are used to it. We go outside to the big tree. We stand all by ourselves. There's no other classes with us. Okay? Tornado drill. We join Miss Rector's class. I think she's got planning this semester, so if we have to do a tornado drill, the only other group that'll be in there, I think, is Miss Thornhill's crowd, so at least it'll be not as crowded. We've not had a Cody in forever. I hope we don't have one this semester. And lockdown. Anybody have Miss Thornhill? All right, we go to the same place. We sit on the floor in the back science hall, and we still just hang out there. All right, there's your science credits.
What's the code?
Huh?
What's the code?
Evacuate. Usually it's a bomb threat, but we haven't had one in a while. So if you've done our science and biology, this is it. So if you pass this one, you can theoretically be done. All right, there's the way we grade. Chemistry has tests at 50%. Quizzes are 25, labs are 15, and homework is 10. I do not give extra credit. I do one test per quarter that I do test corrections on. I will tell you this quarter, the first one will have test corrections. only because usually it takes a little bit to get used to the way I grade. So I usually make the first test the one we do test corrections on. That way everybody gets off to a good start in the quarter. Okay? The final exam is 20%. That was changed early last semester. I just haven't updated the slide show. I need to do that, but I was a little lazy over Christmas break. I didn't do it. All right. I've already been over that. Extra help. I'm here Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, usually till about 4:30. As we go through the semester, sometimes it's later than 4:30. There'll even be 4:45. If you need me, just tell me and I'm here. All right? Don't ever, let me be clear about this. Don't ever tell somebody that I'm not here, because I can promise you I'm here a lot. All right? But if you get behind and you don't ever ask for help, it will snowball quickly. And once you get behind, it is very difficult to get caught back up. If you're out sick, watch the video. Come get help. Okay? I cannot relay the importance of keeping up in my class. Okay? It's not an AP level class. Some of you are going to tell me that it's harder than some of your AP level classes. It's not meant to be. But chemistry's content is difficult compared to some other classes. Some of you are going to gravitate to it and be like, I like this. This is easy for me. And some of you are going to be like, what the? You just don't get it, okay? I don't know how to decide who's going to get it and who's not going to get it. Some of you will just gravitate to it. Some of you will not, okay? Those of you who are very analytical and math-minded, you are going to like it. Those of you who don't will not, and it will be hard for you to get it, okay? So if you're one of those who just doesn't, and you get behind, for the love of Pete, come get some help from me, okay? Or one of your friends. I don't care if it's one of them, but get help, all right? You get 3 bathroom passes. This is usually where we have the biggest trouble, all right? You only get 3. Ron's eyes just bulged, all right? They're not for the quarter. They're for the semester. That's from now till the end of May. Okay? Now to the end of May. I'm old. I just turned 50 in October. I did 2 pregnancies. I have not used more than 3 in a semester. When I have to use more than 3 in a semester, I will change that policy. Okay? Everybody hear me say that? 2 pregnancies, and I've not used more than 3 in a semester. I've not used more than 3 in all 3 classes in a semester. Okay? That's all day long and in a semester. You can train yourself not to have to get up and go. Some of you are like, that's ridiculous. Yes, it is, I'm sure. However, anybody work? Do you get to go to the bathroom anytime you want to? That's good. I work too. Can I go to the bathroom anytime I want to? The answer to that is no. I cannot leave my class unattended. I mean, I could, but let's say I go to the bathroom and a fight breaks out in here. What happens? I could be fired. I'm at least going to be written up in a letter. It's going to be put in my personnel file. At this point, they changed the policy about bonus pay in June. At this point, if I got a letter put in my file, I'm about $600 and some in June. Yeah, I get a bonus check in June. I got 29 years experience. It's about $600 and some after taxes. Now, do you think I'm going to the bathroom and taking a chance on that? No, I'm holding it. Okay? So, these are all things we all have to learn to deal with. Some jobs say, yes, you can go freely. Some jobs say, no, you can't. Mine's a job that's no, I can't. Okay? That's like SMOD, when y'all used to complain about SMOD. It was just part of a dress code. I have a dress code. Now, I'm a fashion disaster. My children will tell you that. Okay? It doesn't get any better. The longer I teach, the worse it gets. However, if I could dress the way I wanted to, I'd be in shorts and a t-shirt every single day I came to school. Can I come to school in shorts and a t-shirt? Miss Curry would send me home. Okay? Now, those are just the rules in which we all have to play by. Every job has requirements. These are your requirements. When you go to college, you have different requirements. That's why kids love college. Yes, sir.
All right, so for the bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
we just stay for 10 minutes and using the bathroom pass?
Nope. You got to use all 3 bathroom passes, and then you can stay for 10 minutes during lunch. for those of you who choose not to use them, there was bonus points on your last test in May. Okay?
Like your test that you
Yep. It's usually the gas law test, but this semester is longer, so we'll probably have one extra test that we didn't in the fall, so we're going that test. All right, we have visitors often in here. Just be kind to them, and don't laugh at fellow students, particularly the recycling kids if they come in. All right, dress code, we've been through that. Right now, everybody's all covered up. It's cold outside, although in here I think it's hotter than Hades. When the temperatures come up, please make sure we continue to cover ourselves and don't expose ourselves. Gentlemen, keep your pants pulled up. Ladies, keep our cleavage covered up. And if we're wearing leggings, make sure our shirts are down below. Yes, even though it's second period, I will send you out for dress code violations. And those are just things I said be mindful of. All right?
I have a question about
Yeah.
the leggings.
Mm-hmm.
Some, like, I see people wear, like the cardigans and stuff that are long enough, but their shirt, like, their undershirt isn't long enough.
As long as your cardigan is long enough and you keep it closed in my room, I will not send you out. Okay? As long as if the jacket or the whatever is buttoned or zipped or whatever, you're good. I had a student last semester who always did that first period, and it's fine. Now, I'm not going to argue or control later in the day.
Okay.
It's not my issue. And yes, I will make you fix your Crocs if your Crocs aren't right. I spot that pretty easily. And I've not had anybody wear Birkenstocks or anything else so far this semester. Sadly, I know. I have a pair too. I can't wear them. All right, cell phones. I had to change this policy, so most of that on there is wrong. Ignore the whole slide. You're not allowed to use them in here. If I see your cell phone out for any reason, it's mine. I'm going to turn it into the office. All right. I was kind. I let people charge freely, and last semester I just got tired of it. People would pick up their phones constantly and play with them, and so I've just decided I'm going with Ms. Thornhill's policy, and it seemed to fix the problem. Now, if you are so desperate that your battery is on 10% and you have to charge, there are outlets in the back. There's one right behind this wall, for example. Now, I'm not in charge of your cell phone. I'm not replacing it if it's stolen. However, we've had none stolen. I will put that out there. Teachers are usually the only ones back there. There's an outlet right behind the wall. If you need to charge because you're down to 10%, you're welcome to do that. However, you're not welcome to charge out here. You're not welcome to play on your cell phone. If I see you using your cell phone, I am going to take it and I'm giving it to Ms. Kirby. Okay? What she does with it beyond that is up to her. She can give it back to you at the end of the day. She can hold it for 24 hours. I don't care. All right? But I'm turning it into the office because I'm done playing with cell phones. Same thing with headphones, AirPods, the rest of it. Take them out, put them up. You know, lots of us got new phones, got AirPods, lots of electronics for Christmas. I hate for anybody to lose theirs. I certainly wouldn't want to lose mine. I don't know if I could survive 24 hours without a cell phone. It'd be an interesting challenge, but I don't want to deal with it. So put them away. All right, we did that. The lab facilities are only 3.5 years old. Please don't ride on them. All right? Don't stick stuff to them. Don't throw trash in the sink. I'm going to have scales and that out tomorrow. We're going to do 2 labs this week. So be kind. Don't drag the stuff. There's a shower at the back. Do not pull the handle. It's a 2-inch water pipe. I forget the rate that it sprays out at, but it sprays out 5 foot wide. You are going to get wet if you pull that handle. So don't do it. Okay? Other than that, are there any questions of anything that I have missed? Anything you can think of? No? Fabulous. We need calculators. If you have one, you don't need one. Anybody going to get a calculator? Y'all just going to sit there like a bunch of lumps on a log. And anybody who did not give me their paper because they were still writing, feel free to give me yours.
Oh, you love. Recording?
Yeah, I'm recording. Say what? All right. Everybody got a calculator who needs one? All right. Measurement is a unit of defined size. So we're going to talk a little bit about SI units and metric units, and we're going to learn to convert metrics using the factor label method. Everything that I teach this semester is done with the factor label method, with moles, molarity, stoichiometry. Everything is done this way. So I like to start this way because it's an easy way to get our feet wet for the system that we use this semester. Now, a unit of defined size. So an easy way to think about this is if I was to say 1 dozen, way back in elementary school, y'all learned a dozen was equal to how many? So if you went to school and you had a party, your teacher or your friends, teachers, kids, whatever, brought a dozen cupcakes, you knew the dozen was going to have how many cupcakes in it. And if there weren't 12, you knew you were cheated, right? Right. If you had a foot, you knew what was in a foot. If you have a yard, what's a yard equal to? Okay? That's what I mean about measurement. It's a unit of defined size. Now, you might not have remembered all of those, but you remembered some of them because they're defined. All right? Some of you probably even learned the gallon man at some point in elementary school and can at least describe parts of the gallon man. Okay? When I was in school, we didn't draw that stuff. All right? Now, we're going to talk about SI units and what SI units are equal to, and we're going to talk about common units and the equipment that's used to measure those things. Because we're not going to use English units. I'm just sort of looking around to see who's still writing before I change the board. Everybody caught up? Yes? All right. So we're going to use, let me write it here, SI units. SI units stand for System International, or the International System of Units, all right, which are units accepted by scientists. Now, these are not English units. So, for the most part, these are not going to be units that you guys use in your everyday lives. So, they're not going to be feet, they're not going to be yards, they're not going to be inches, they're not going to be gallons, they're not going to be pints, they're not going to be cups. Those are all things that we use every day in the United States because those are English units. So, we're going to switch to things that are metric or SI units. We there? All right. So, All right, so let's start with an easy one. Let's do length. All right, what's the SI unit for length? The accepted unit by all scientists. Any ideas? What? Centimeters is going to be a common unit. You're very close, though. Millimeters is a common unit. Take off the prefix. All right, how are we going to measure it? Sure. Any others? All right, how about mass? Teron. All right, volume will go under mass. Can anybody give me a unit for mass? Inches is English. Kilogram is actually the SI unit. Anybody give me a common unit? How do we measure it? Because you're going to do it this week with significant digits. What? All right, I heard scale. That's the generic name. I thought I heard the right name. Triple beam. Yes. Now, volume, I'm not going to say a whole lot about because we're going to do it in a little while down there when we get to derived units. Can anybody tell me about the equipment? Uh-huh. What kind of cylinder? It needs a word in front of it. And if you remind me when we do volume in a few minutes, I'll come back and fill those spots in. All right. Minutes. How are we going to measure it? What? You can tell me about temperature. Toronto.
Celsius.
All right, Celsius. Yep. Kelvin is the SI unit. Okay, how are we going to measure it? Yep, and it's spelled, for those of you who cannot spell, thermo. make it a little smaller here. Thermo, and then meter. All right, I'm going to change the orientation here. That's not what I meant. That's what I meant right there. All right. One more. And this one we're only filling in. We're not going to use equipment, and we're not going to use common units. We're only doing, oops, put it in the wrong place. The amount of substance. And then the unit for that is the mole. But we're not learning a common unit or what equipment.
At all?
Nope. So I put X's there. Now, we're going to use a formula to change here. This one y'all already know how to change once we do the factor label method. And these two, we're going to learn how to change with the factor label method. All right? So, is everybody caught up? Yes or no? Do I need to wait? All right, so somebody nod yes. All right, so let's talk about metrics real quick, and then we're going to learn how to convert with the factor label method. All right, this should be reviewed. All right, metrics are base 10, right? Tell me what way y'all learned how to keep those straight when you were in maybe late elementary school, but certainly in middle school. What's the method that y'all learned to keep the units in order and remember what they were? It was a mnemonic device your teachers taught you. It was a sentence. Yeah. No need to reinvent the wheel. Y'all already know this one. All right, so what did King stand for? Kilo. All right. What did Henry stand for? Y'all are a little rusty out there. Hecto. What did Dod stand for? Okay. Y'all are so rusty you froze up. All right. Deca. Now, you could actually write Deca, D-E-K-A. All right. We don't use that near as often, but that is correct if you ever see that. We tend to use D-E-C-A more than D-E-K-A, but it is correct. By is the baseline. Drinking was what? Y'all got nothing? Usually the bottom half is where I pick y'all up again. No. Okay. Deci.
Oh.
How about chocolate and milk? All right, there we go. And then milk? Millie. Okay. Can you give me the abbreviations that goes with those? What's the abbreviation for kilo? Okay. Hecto is? Yeah. I'm going to skip the deca and the deci for a second. What's centi? and milli.
Yeah.
Okay. So since deca and deci both have D's, one of them has to have another letter to differentiate between the two. Okay, do you remember which one was just D? Deci was just a D. All right. So deca was what? What? I thought I heard it. Yes, DA. All right. So on the baseline, we're going to put 3 units there that are pretty common that we're going to use over the next couple days. Okay, 2 of them we used already. If I go back one, which one are we going to use that are up here? Any guesses? Starts with an M and a G. No, not mass. It's a mass unit. Gram. Meter. And the other one is a way we could buy like soft drinks.
Oh, leave.
Liters. All right. So, where are the units the biggest? At the top. So as we go down, what happens to them? They get smaller. All right, so if I write HG, are we okay with that's the prefix and that's the base? So remember that. So how would we write that name? H stands for hecto, G stands for what? Okay. So hecto came from here. G comes from the baseline, which is grain. So if I write DAM, DA is deca, M is meter. Are we okay with that? Yay or nay? Yay. Okay. Now, if I just write M by itself is just a what? That's just a what? Is it just a prefix or just a base? It's just a base. You can't have just a prefix. So that is just a base. So that means meter. So is everybody good with that? Yay, nay? Remember what I told you. Ask. Not a mind reader. If I was, I'd have one of those numbers on TV and I wouldn't be teaching still. I'd be retired. Everybody's okay with what we've done so far? Okay. Everybody had enough time to write everything down? All right. So now we're going to talk about the factor label method, which is the main point of today. All right. There's 6 steps. We're going to write them down today. We're never going to write them down again, but we're going to use them all semester. All right. Number 1, draw a chart. Number 2, the given info on the top line. Number 3, the unit you do not want goes on the bottom. The unit you do want goes on top. Put a 1 next to the biggest unit. Count the places to determine the remaining number. And number 6 is the only one that will change because sometimes it will be a constant and we'll just fill in the constant. I'm telling you, I would not want to live in High Point. Zaxby's was just robbed. Every time I turn around, somebody's been shot there. All right, are we still catching up? I see people running. So y'all have a good break? That's his first period, and I didn't get a whole lot of answers.
I got to sleep, so I'm good.
You got to sleep, so you're good? I thought it was too short.
Yeah.
Now, you work at Sonic, right?
That's what I did too.
You what?
Working
Where you work at?
Times Square.
Teron does too. He felt left out.
He worked at Sonic.
Yeah, Teron felt left out.
He felt left out. Why? He didn't get to work?
No, it's because you just.
Oh. Did you have to work a lot too?
Only like 3 days.
You only worked 3 days out of 2 weeks.
So,
I work like every day. I think I work like 4 days.
You only worked 1 day this week?
Oh no, I work every day except Tuesday and Wednesday. No, Wednesday and Thursday.
Then how come he only got 3 days total out of 2 weeks?
Because
I'm booked one day.
Oh.
I work
Didn't get no credit.
Like 10 of these weeks.
All right, is everybody caught up? All right, so let's say, and some of you can probably move decimals, and that's fine, okay? But the point of this is to learn how to use the factor label method, not just to move decimals. And we're going to do this with other things aside from just doing metric conversions. But let's say that we have 456.7 centimeters, and we want to change it to hectometers, okay? Now, according to the steps, we draw a chart. Now, I refer to this often as a T-chart because it just looks like a T. Now, this is shorthand for math class. This wall is incredibly lazy. I like to work smart, not hard. So, in math class, what do parentheses mean?
You go first.
They multiply, right? This right here is shorthand for multiplying. So what's my given data? Right there, 456.7 centimeters. So that goes there. Right now, we're not putting anything down here. I haven't decided if we're going to learn how to do the ones that have a numerator and denominator. Some semesters I do it, some I don't. All right, what goes on the bottom? All right, step 3 says the unit you don't want goes on the bottom. Well, what unit don't I want anymore? I don't want centimeters, so I'm putting centimeters on the bottom. What's the reason for putting centimeters on the bottom? We want it to cancel out, okay? So in math class, this would cancel out and go away. That's the reason for putting it on the bottom. So what unit do we want to go to? That goes on the top. What unit are we going to? So we're putting it on top. Anybody confused by steps 1 through 4? All right. The last 2 are the most important. Which unit is bigger, hecto or centi? Then we put a 1 next to hecto. Now, we don't put anything else in that box. Once you put the 1 next to hecto, you're done. We need to figure out what number is going right here. All right? King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. We're counting the number of places between hecto and centi. It doesn't matter if you count down or if you count up. You can count either direction. You just need the number of spaces. You must count the baseline. So, hecto to deca is 1. Deca to the baseline is 2. The baseline to deci is 3. And deci to centi is 4. So, how many places did I move? 4 places. That means 4 zeros. Because everything is base 10 and put a 1 in front of it. That means it was 10,000. Notice when we labeled King Henry died, did I teach you what anything was? Was it 10, 100, 1,000? No, because we don't care what any of those numbers are. We're only interested in how many places did it move. Now, to calculate, 456.7 times what? Divided by, do I actually have to say times 1? So 456.7 divided by, and you get your answer. Tell me if I did that right in my head. Now, when you write your answer, make sure that you put a what on it? A unit. Without that unit, I'm going to take points off on your quiz. Your first quiz is Wednesday. And for those of you who haven't talked to your friends, we quiz a lot. Okay? Ask them. They'll tell you. Huh? Well, I wouldn't call it a pop quiz when I just told you. You have a quiz Wednesday, Thursday, if not Friday, Monday. Possibly Friday. I told you we quiz a lot. The reason for that is it's easier to keep up if you're studying for your quizzes. All right, so let's do another one.
Are the quizzes like multiple choice or like questions off the bat that you think of?
Mostly free response. The first test is multiple choice. The next one is half and half, and the next 2 beyond that are entirely free response. All right, so 7.35 kilograms to decagrams. What do I do first? Draw a T-chart. What's step 2? Put the given date on the top line. All right, what's next? Unit I don't want on the bottom, so who don't I want? Okay. All right, next. What do I want on the top? Okay. Everybody good with steps 1 through 4? Okay. So, who's bigger? Kilograms, I hear. Do we agree? Okay. You should. Kilograms is at the top of the chart. Now, notice in the previous one, the biggest unit was on top. We put the number 1 on the top. And this one, the biggest unit is 1, so it was on the bottom. So we put the 1 on the bottom. It doesn't matter whether it's on the top or the bottom. The biggest unit gets a 1. Whether it's top or bottom is irrelevant. Is everybody okay with that? Okay, so King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. So we're counting the spaces between kilo and deca. So kilo to Henry, Henry to deca. This time I moved how many spaces? 2. So I'm only going to have how many zeros this time? 2 and a 1. So to calculate, I do what? 7.35 times 100, 735 decagrams. You okay? Yay? Nay? All right, let's do one more. And then I'm going to let you practice. All right, I picked this one because a lot of times it causes issues. All right, what goes on the top line?
1.75.
What goes on the bottom?
M.
Okay, what goes on the top? Okay, who's bigger?
Wait, this is, yeah.
Tell me what that is.
Oh,
Meters.
maybe.
Now, I picked this one because it's easy for people to mess this one up. They see the M, and they automatically want to jump to what conclusion? That it's a milli, right? But it's a baseline. Meters is there on the base. Okay? So don't let me get you with something simple like that on a quiz or a test. All right? So, who's bigger? Meters is bigger. So how many spaces between meter and centi? There's 2. Okay? So you get 475 centimeters. Questions? Questions about how to do that? You feel okay about it?
No. All right, but-
Yeah, Teron.
So you said it went on top of the baseline. So why would it go on top of the baseline? Like, I'm lost.
It's not that it's on top of the baseline. Meters is the baseline. Okay? It's not this because in order to be this, it would have to be like MM or ML or MG. It would have to be 2 letters to be there. Okay? In order to be a milli, it has to have 2 letters, a prefix and a base unit. Does that make sense? Okay? So, because I only put 1 M, that's what tells me it's there. And CM is there. So who's bigger, something on the baseline or the CM? That's why I put the 1 there, and then it's 2 spaces between there. Does that make sense? Okay. Anybody else have a question? All right. So we're going to do 3, or I should say y'all are going to do 3. Let's say that you have 28.2 meters, and you're going to millimeters. You have 41.7 centiliters, and you're going to hectoliters, and you have 1.34 millimeters, and you're going to decimeters. Anybody have a question for me? Anybody? Still need more time? Yay, nay? I gotta talk to you. So yes? No?
No.
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 So can I get a volunteer to do number one? That sounds suspiciously like no. So I just have to draft people. Go ahead, Toronto. I mean, it's not like I shoot you if you did it wrong. So far, so good.
I'm trying to, because I did it different.
It goes on the bottom.
Yeah.
Use the end of the pen
Oh.
or your hand. Touch with a pen. Okay, look at what's on the top line. What unit's on the top?
Decameter.
So it's got to be on the bottom. The decameter's on top.
Yeah.
By the way, these pens don't bounce. They break.
Okay. Alright, so that's on the top.
So what has to go on the bottom?
Why is it still erasing stuff?
Okay, if you want to erase,
Yeah, I know it erasing and do nothing.
or like this. Okay? Or like this.
Uh-huh.
Or like this. Everybody see what I did? Pen, fingers, fist, hand. To write, pen. You cannot use your fingers like you can on those other boards.
That's the right answer, though, right? What?
What's right there?
Oh.
So what's going right there?
Okay. I don't know how to do it then. I know.
Yeah. What goes on top? Who's bigger? Put one there. How many spaces between deca and millimeter?
2.
Deca's here.
Oh,
Millie's there. So put 4 zeros. And put a 1 in front of it. Now calculate.
so we still got the body?
Nope, they're side by side. So what are you going to do? Yes. Yes. Put a unit on it. Yes. Stick it on the desk or you drop it. There you go. Can I get a volunteer for number 2? How about Ariana? You look brave. Live dangerously. Just don't throw the pen on the floor. We had broke one last semester. I had to get a new one at the end of the semester. Miss Thornhill is on her original set. We're on like the 3rd set over here. It's bigger.
Does it matter which side I put the one on?
Nah, we typically put it on the left, but
Okay.
okay, not quite that close, but okay. That way people can see it.
One.
That's better. Okay, because you already put the 1 here. This
Why?
new number you just calculated or figured out needs to go where? Needs to go there. Yes. Yes. You can write it below, off to the side, wherever you can find space. Okay. Looks right.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Can I get somebody to do number 3? Oliver, what about you? Okay. All right. Big
Come on,
hand.
Oliver.
There you go.
Jesus God. Sweaty game.
Yes. Thank you. Come on. Sweaty hands does make a difference.
Come on.
Jesus.
Now, you guys can do the same things you did in other classes where you can draw a ring around and touch the middle. All of those functions still work. Correct. Anybody else? Questions? Are we okay with those? All right. Now, we're going to talk derived units. I'm a little leery of trying this, but let's give it a shot. Now, what does the word derived mean in English class? Okay, comes from something else. So, derived units come from formulas. Now, to illustrate this, I should have an S on it, but I'm too close to the edge. All right, we're going to talk about area. All right, just as an easy one. So, area has what formula? Tell me what formula we learned for area back in probably late elementary school. What was area? Okay? Length times width, length times height. Both of those answers were correct. Okay, so let's say that we have a box. Okay? 6 centimeters, 4 centimeters. All right? What is its area? What? I heard it out there. All right. 24 centimeters squared. Now, the reason it's 24 centimeters squared, you take 6 centimeters times 4 centimeters, right? Now, in math class, when you say x times x, what do you get? X squared. So in science class, when you say centimeters times centimeters, you get centimeters what? Squared. So, anytime you see a squared, that squared tells you it's an area. Is everybody okay with that? Now, the same concept is true for volume. All right, and I told you we'd go back and fill in our chart in a moment when we did volume. So, the only thing that changes in the formula for volume is we add what piece? Yes, okay? So, area is equal to length times width times height. So, instead of it being a flat surface with volume, it becomes three-dimensional. So, if you had something like this, let's just say for the sake of argument that we have 3 centimeters by 2 centimeters by 4 centimeters. Okay? So this time, when we calculated, look at me, wrote A there instead of B. All right? So this time, when we found volume, all right, we would have length times width times height. And again, it doesn't matter which side you make length, width, and height, as long as they're all different sides. You would have 3 times 2 times 4. But what happens when you multiply a centimeter times a centimeter times a centimeter? It's what? It's cubed. So you have what? 6 times 4 is still 24, right? Didn't mean to do that, but apparently I have mad skills today. All right, so I still get 24, but I get centimeters cubed. Now, if we want to talk SI in common units, again, is that an SI or a common unit? It's a common unit, okay? All right, so centimeters cubed is a common unit. All right, what's the SI unit? Anybody know? We're on SI units for length, right? What's the SI unit up there for length? It's meter. So what's the SI unit for width? What's the SI unit for length? What's the SI unit for width? What's the SI unit for height? Thought I heard it. It's meter. Okay, so what's a meter times a meter times a meter? All right, so the volume SI unit is meters cubed. Okay, so what's another common unit we might use for volume besides centimeters cubed? How else do you buy your drinks?
Liters.
Sure, liters. Can you give me one more? That's metric or English. Stick with metrics. It says it on your water bottle. Ounces is English. Yep. It does. All right. So, we need to learn something for volume. You have to memorize that. 1 centimeter cubed is the same as 1 milliliter. They're one and the same. Sometimes measurements use centimeters cubed. Sometimes they use milliliters. If you take, well, I've asked this many years, and some people have seen it, some people have not. Have you seen cc's like in your allied health classes or heard of cc's? If you have, it's the same thing as this. It's just a different way to write it. It means centimeters cubed. Okay? In science class, we write centimeters cubed with a 3 on it. This means centimeters cubed. It's just a different way to write it. Okay? But it's the same thing as that. Now, it's the same as 1 milliliter. We're going to use this to make conversions. For example, suppose that we have 45.6 centimeters cubed, and we want to change that to liters. Okay? Suppose we want to make that conversion. Now, if we want to make this conversion, what are we going to have to do first? What do you think? We are going to draw a T-chart. Okay? Now, before I fill in the T-chart, all right, I can go ahead and write 45.6 centimeters cubed if I want to. I mean, that's fine. But my goal is to get to liters. What is a centimeter cubed the same as? It's the same as a milliliter. Okay? I have to recognize that this centimeters cubed is the same as a milliliter. So instead of using centimeters cubed, I want to use what? Milliliters. Because if I use milliliters, I can change from milliliters into what? Into liters. And it's the same conversion I was just doing. If I don't recognize that, it's a lot harder for me to change centimeters cubed into liters because that's not a conversion I know how to do. Okay? But centimeters cubed and milliliters are one and the same. Now, once I've done that, Who's bigger, a liter or a milliliter? King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Where's liter at? Okay. How many spaces between the baseline and milli? 1, 2, 3. So I put 3 zeros. And then to calculate, I do what? 45.6 times 1 if I need to, and then divide by 1,000. 0.0456 liters. Now, let me point out, there was only 1 unit cubed. Okay, that's a difference from what I'm getting ready to show you. All right, we there? All right, so how is this different from that? They're what? Okay. Okay, this time both of the units are cubed. All right, so what are we going to do? What goes on top? All right, 38.2 centimeters cubed. What goes on the bottom? What?
I was gonna say, can you just change centimeters cubed now? I just put milliliters.
No. We're not going to change this into milliliters. What goes on the bottom? Okay. What goes on the top? Okay. Now, this one, I don't want to change to milliliters, and I'm going to tell you why in just a second. All right. Who's bigger, meter or centimeters? Okay. All right. How many spaces between the meter and the centimeter? First of all, where's meter at? It's on the baseline. And how many spaces between it and centi? It's only 2. Now, this time, because both units are cubed, you're going to cube the numbers. Okay? Now, this one we're not going to change the centimeters cubed to milliliters because both the units are what? Cubed. We change it if only how many are cubed? If only 1 is cubed, we change it. Go back. If both of them are cubed, we don't. So, when I say cube the numbers, which one am I talking about? Do I cube the original data? No. We cube the 1 and the 100. So we're going to cube this, and we're going to cube this. Now, what's 1 cubed in math class? It's 1. So again, we don't really have to mess with this unless you just want to. And you can. Won't hurt a thing if you do. So you can say 38.2 times 1 cubed divided by 100 cubed. Now, do we remember how to cube something on our calculator? Yes? Okay. If you don't, and you don't want to say you don't, it's 100. That up caret key, and then 3. For any of you who don't want to do that. Say what? You don't have to use the math. You can just use the 100 and that raised caret key 3. That's the easier way to do it. So 38.2 divide 100 up caret key 3. Now, when you get the answer, it's going to be in scientific notation. All right, you get 3. And we're going to talk about this tomorrow because I'm not tackling this today. All right, I am going to teach you how to write it though. So when you get that E negative 5, you write the answer as 3.85 times 10 to the negative 5th. All right, so what unit are we putting on our answer? The centimeters went away. And what unit are we putting? Meters cubed. Bonbon, you need tissue? Okay. All right. Think we can try one or two? We can try. Yeah.
Sorry. Why do you cube the numbers, or is that just a rule?
Because both of the units are cubed, the numbers would also have to be cubed because you're talking about cubed volumes. So those the dimensions would be cubed also. Okay, because it's a centimeter cubed, so the length, width, and the height will also be there, and they'd be cubed. That's why you're cubing the numbers. Let's do 7.12 liters to centimeters cubed, and there. All right, let's try those two. See if we can do these two before the bell.
Wait, so now I can change it to meters?
Is there only one cubed one in the top one?
Yeah.
Yes, that's why you would do that with numbers. What'd you say? How you do what? And while I'm thinking about it, all that typical first day stuff the teachers send home, syllabus, and parent letters and all that stuff, if your parents want that for my class, it's all posted on the website. I just refuse to waste paper on it. But it is all there for their reading if they would like it. Had enough time, need more time, where are we at? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You else have a question?
So it would only be in standard, I mean, flights and segmentation if it was on all of them.
Yeah. You would multiply that by 100. Raise it, yes. So 1.45 times 100. Huge. So you have that. Yes. Anybody else? Question? Yes. It doesn't matter. We come there. So one there. And then just count your places. It'll be 3. And then you put 1. And then you calculate. All right, can we talk about the 2 that you got? Yeah. What's wrong? Yes.
Okay.
All right, so if we look at the first one, remember that's the same thing as milliliters, right? So 7.12 liters, milliliters, 1,000. So you get 7,120 milliliters, 7,120 centimeters cubed. Issues with number 1? No? All right, number 2, 1.45 meters cubed, centimeters cubed, 100. Both of them need to be what?
Cubed.
They need to be cubed. So you get 145. Or you can have 1.45 times 10 to the 6 centimeters cubed. Either answer is correct. Okay? All right. On the homework that I handed you. First of all, I gave everybody a remind paper if you'd like to join Remind. You can communicate with me if you have homework questions. On the paper that I handed you for homework, our pom-poms here, we're doing 1 through 9. Okay? All right, questions 1 through 9. Any issues? If you have grab and go, please make sure you put it in the trash can. Put your calculators in the tub. Okay, we have 2 minutes to get that done. Calculators in the tub, grab and go, trash in the trash can. Don't put trash in the recycling bin.